In this unit circle survival guide, we're going to find an exact value using the S.A.R.C method. So we're going to be looking at the sine of 450 degrees today. And we'll get more into this in just a minute, but 450 degrees is actually a special angle that allows us to simplify the S.A.R.C method. It's what we call a quadrantal. And all that means is that the terminal side of the angle falls on an axis. So that note is that S.A.R.C will simplify just to the first step and the last step. So we'll call it S and C. So here's our outline. And briefly, we're going to sketch the angle. That's the S. So we'll sketch where its terminal side is. Then we'll write the coordinates. And for number 2, step 2, we will just calculate the value we want. So we're trying to find the sine of 450 degrees. All right, so let's get started. 450 degrees, that's the angle we need to sketch. And you should notice that it is more than 360 degrees. So that's going to be more than one rotation. And since it's a positive angle, we know we're rotating in the counterclockwise direction. So in order to sketch this, it's a great idea to find a coterminal angle. And we do that by simply subtracting 360. So we have 450 degrees minus 360 degrees, which of course will give us 90 degrees. So we can say that 90 and 450 degrees, those angles are called coterminal angles, and that just means they share the same terminal side. We just rotate differently to get there. All right, so let's sketch what we know is 90 degrees. Again, we're rotating counterclockwise. So there's 0 degrees. A quarter rotation is 90 degrees. Okay, and so here is our quadrantal. And again, all that means is that the terminal side falls on an axis. So here it falls on the positive part of the vertical axis. So now that we have this sketch, we can label it with coordinates. So we know that this is working with the unit circle, and a unit circle has just a radius of 1. So we can find the coordinate to this point simply by saying, well, we moved up 1. So the coordinates for that will be 0, 1. And now that we have the coordinates, we can move on to step 2. We're going to calculate, and we're finding the sine of 450 degrees. And remember, we sketched the terminal side that's 450, but also 90. They're coterminal. So the sine for either of those will be the same thing. But when we're trying to find the sine on the unit circle, it's simply the y coordinate. So we look at our coordinates that we labeled here. The y coordinate is 1. So not really even a calculation that we have to do here. Maybe you want to write yourself a reminder that the sine of an angle on the unit circle is the y coordinate. But really we know it's just going to be 1. So the sine of 450 degrees is positive 1. Be sure to check the video description for links to more examples and some other helpful tips with the unit circle. Thanks for watching.